This is a special broadcast where a massive manhunt has been launched to hunt down one of India's most wanted terrorists. Headlines Today has access exclusive CCTV footage of the 13 July 2011 Zaveri Bazaar blast, the first of the triple bombings in Mumbai. What we are bringing you on the broadcast is never before seen images of a planter. It's shocking, it's eerie. We are appealing to our viewers to watch this man very closely. Help us and help the police identify this man. 17 people lost their lives, 131 were injured. Help the investigation, help the victims get justice. Look at this man very closely. We'll tell you lots about him in the course of the next 1 hour. Two pictures that you're seeing on your television screen. The 13/7 Zaveri Bazaar bomber, as he goes there, plants that bomb in that white bag, and look how he's hiding his face in those images. And then 50 minutes later there is a blast. 17 people sadly lost their lives, 131, and in that bag police suspect the bombs were kept. Look at that footage very closely. The timing on that footage, 6:03 p.m., 6:03, and that's exactly 51 minutes before the blast. The man in this green and a green striped shirt and black pants, his name, we'll tell you what his name is, we'll tell you where he comes from. This is a suspected terrorist. The police are confident this is the man who's the planter. How do they know it? They've interrogated several terrorists in custody, several suspects. They know who this man is, and we'll tell you more about his links with one of our neighboring countries. Look how he's placed that bomb. He's carrying the bomb in those visuals. He places this bomb and then he just walks away. Not only does he walk away, look at those pictures very carefully. He knows there is a CCTV camera. There, he's hiding his face. That terrorist is hiding his face from the CCTV camera as he walks away. Help us identify him. We'll tell you more about this terrorist. His name is Waqas. He's from Pakistan. He's a Pakistani Punjabi. He's an Indian Mujahideen terrorist. Now, there are two aspects to this story. He's extremely dangerous because he's still out there. And after the arrest of Yasin Bhattal, police fear he may still try to do something. But let's look at the images that we are about to get you on this broadcast. That is Waqas for you. These are images, and we'll tell you lots about these images. Look at the time, the date, 13/7/2001, 8:03 p.m. That's the date, and that's the man. That man there, Waqas, according to our sources in the Mumbai police, not only planted that bomb that killed 17 people and injured 131, he is out there in the open to target more people. Yasin Bhattal was arrested, but this man is still at large. Headlines Today's Ankit Tyagi is to join me in a moment, and Ankit Tyagi will give details of how the police nailed this man, how they found out about him, but the big story that he's still out there, he could still target people. That is what intelligence sources are telling Headlines Today. Let me bring in on this broadcast Ajit Doval, former director of the Intelligence Bureau. Let me also bring in Jaydev Ranade, a senior officer of RAW, who's joining us, former RAW additional director who joins us on the broadcast, and Divyesh Nair also joins us from Mumbai for more on this story. At this point of time, Mr. Ajit Doval, here is a planter, and this planter is seen in these pictures planting a bomb at Zaveri Bazaar on 13/7. What sources in the police are telling us? Yasin Bhattal was arrested. This man is still out there, and he could be planning something very sinister. How clear is the danger, sir?
It's very clear. Actually, this clearly brings out three things. One is that in 2001, when Pakistan decided to shift the tracks and use the indigenous human resources for carrying out their terrorist plans so that they can operate at a higher level of deniability, whenever incidents took place in India and we told them about the Pakistan hand, Pakistan told not only us but to the world that it is India's internal problems and India is throwing the blame on us. We knew for certain that Indian Mujahideen was a platform created by Pakistan ISI in conjunction with the Lashkar-e-Toiba, which was the cutout organization through whom they were recruiting, financing and training them and carrying out the joint operations. This is one incident which squarely proves that Bhatkal is an Indian national who got trained, who was being financed, who was being weaponized, who was giving all assistance by Pakistan ISI, and Waka is a Pakistani national who is actively being used for perpetrating a terrorist action in Zaveri Bazaar.
Okay.
So this is something that we should be able to send a message both to Pakistan and to the world at large and India that IM is nothing but a Pakistan's proxy in which it is using some misguided Indian youth by misguiding them and by giving them certain temptations which they should avoid.
Also with me on the broadcast is Headlines Today's Ankit Tyagi, and Ankit got this footage from his sources in the police. Ankit, the Delhi police, the NIA, they're extremely critical of this man and they say he poses clear and present danger. Why would terrorists, why would the Indian Mujahideen use a Pakistani national to plant a bomb? What more can you tell us about Waqas?
Gaurav, let me first tell our viewers about who this man Waqas is that they are seeing on their screens. They have seen the CCTV footage. He is a Pakistani national, a 5'11" fair guy. He was trained by Lashkar-e-Toiba. He is a trained bomb maker, terrorist who has been trained in Pakistan by LET. Somewhere around 2004-2005, he was introduced by the ISI to Riaz Bhatkal and Iqbal Bhatkal, both the Bhatkal brothers who are hiding in Pakistan. They are the founders of Indian Mujahideen. And since then, he has been in touch with the Indian Mujahideen, has been working very closely with Yasir Bhatkal. He's an expert bomb maker. He's very good with changing his disguises. He's a very clever bomber, as they call him. He uses various aliases in every operation that he goes on to. Also, he has worked, as I told, very closely with Yasir Bhatkal, and he has teamed up with Tabriz alias Hadi, who has been arrested with Yasir Bhatkal now. Security agencies has been hot on his trail, and we fear that right now he's after Bhatkal's arrest. He might try for a revenge bomb blast, and he's planning something as of now. He's wanted in at least 3 bomb blast cases in India. The Zaveri Bazaar 13/7/2011 bomb blast, the Pune serial blast of August 1, 2012, and also he's suspected to have played his role in the 21st February 2013 Hyderabad blast.
Okay.
He was in Mumbai for a significant amount of time before the Zaveri blast took place. This is the CCTV footage that we have been able to procure from our sources. You can very clearly see him with that white bag.
Yes.
He goes into the crowd, and when he comes out in the next sequence, the bag is not there. He's very clever. He knows where the CCTV footage cameras are. He
Yes.
tries to hide his face. Also, he's a fitness freak, Gaurav. That is a peculiar thing about him. He was living in a rented apartment with Yasir Bhatkal in Mumbai in Baikula's Habib building before the 13/7 blast. And also, it was in the Kasavardi area of Pune before the Pune blast.
Okay.
He had joined gyms in both cities, and he's known to be a very, very shrewd and smart operative.
Okay, and the question that we are asking here on Headlines today is there a change in Indian Mujahideen training tactics and the fact that they're now using Pakistani nationals? Sources in Delhi police telling us that this man is from Pakistan's Punjab. He's a fitness freak, as Ankit was just telling us, very close to Yasin Bhatkal. This is CCTV footage. Look at the date very carefully. 13/7/2011, 18:07 after planting the bomb. He's leaving that place. He knows where CCTV footage is and he's hiding. He's hiding his face, as you can very clearly see in those images. He knows where the CCTV cameras are. He's hiding his face like that and he's trying to run away from the cameras. But watch how this entire thing is caught on different CCTV cameras. These people, according to sources in the police, had recceed this area. They carried out detailed reconnaissance operations and they knew where the CCTV bombs were. At 18:03, he's coming. There he is. That white bag has the improvised explosive device. He's not only a planter, he's also a bomb maker. So fairly high in the hierarchy of terrorists in the Indian Mujahideen group. Jaidev Ranade, the question I have for you, sir, is why is it that the Indian Mujahideen, in your appreciation, why are they using Pakistani planters and bombers? Because what then happens is their deniability just seems to go away. Do you see a change in their tactics now, sir?
I would put it, frame the question slightly differently. I would look at it as the Pakistanis are wanting to up the ante and either raise the level of professionalism of the Indian Mujahideen as far as terrorism is concerned, or try and carry out some more sensational or very sensational kind of action in India, which is why they've sent a trained operative, Pakistani, who in my estimation would be not just an operative but someone who is like an instructor to the subsidiary organizations that the ISI has tried to create, and he has come for a specific purpose. I think the fact that he has got away means that we should prepare ourselves for some kind of sensational blast that has probably already been in the works, and he has come to carry it out along with Bhatkal. He will now go ahead alone, or he will lie low and then try and contact maybe some of the modules, IM modules, which they are trying to redeploy or maybe change for some fresh tactics. That's how I would look at it.
That is very, very sinister. These terrorists are planning something big. In fact, the day Yasin Bhatkal was arrested, sources in police tell us that they had suspected Waqas was also with him. But Waqas managed to give the police a slip. Is he is he planning something very, very sinister? Divesh Nair joins me from Mumbai. Divesh, you've been speaking to your sources in the Mumbai police. They trolled through hours and hours of CCTV footage. What is it that they are telling you about Waqas now?
Well, Gaurav, it's very clear. Waqas is one of the important people in this Indian Mujahideen module that carried out blast in Mumbai as well as Pune. What the Maharashtra ATS during their investigation figured out that it was this Waqas who was an expert bomb maker, and he was the one who actually manufactured the bomb which was used for all the three blasts that happened on 13/7, that is in Opera House, Zaveri Bazaar as well as near Dadar. And one important point that the Mumbai police says that this man could be very dangerous. Now that Tabriz and as well as Yasin Bhatkal is in the net of the police, this man could lie low for some time, and he would definitely plan a strike that would cause more harm to the people. However, the Mumbai police is very clear about the fact that this person needs to be caught as soon as possible, because he roaming around and getting in touch with his masters in Pakistan would be more dangerous for India, and for that there is already a manhunt that has been started by the Maharashtra ATS. Remember, he has also been named in the charge sheet that has been put by Maharashtra ATS in 13/7 serial blast. So yes, he is extremely dangerous, and the Maharashtra ATS is already looking out for him. Back to you, Gaurav.
Okay. How is it that the police are confident that he is a Pakistani? What do they know of his background in Pakistan? Who trained him? Who armed him? Who funded him? Who launched him? Ankit, what details do we have about his background and previous involvements, if at all?
Well, what we have learned, Gaurav, is that they know definitely that he is a Pakistani national, and he has been trained by Lashkar-e-Taiba. He is an operative. He was motivated and trained by LET. We know that Indian Mujahideen anyways is a proxy of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and it was after he came in contact with the Bhatkal brothers through ISI that he had officially joined Indian Mujahideen. He works very closely with Tabriz, who has been arrested along with Yasin Bhatkal. In fact, the security agencies thought that he was also with Bhatkal and Tabriz when he was arrested. Both of them, Tabriz and this guy Waqas, both of them together had gone recce and planted bombs. They were almost like a team who used to work together. In fact, he's an expert IED maker. They rented this flat in Baikula in Mumbai, where along with Yasin Bhatkal they had gone ahead and assembled the bomb, and then he was assigned to go and plant this bomb in the Zaveri Bazaar. Right now, what the security agencies are fearful is of the fact that he might be planning another strike. Because when Bhatkal and Tabriz were arrested, both of them, security agencies say, were in the advanced stages of planning another attack. He's a very crucial link to all those, and he's right now a ghost. He's given the security agencies a slip, and what they suspect is that he might now be planning a revenge attack after Bhatkal's arrest.
Mr. Doval, if you recall those images, and we will put out those images very soon on headlines today, every time journalists ask Yasin Bhatkal a question, he would just put his finger like this on his nose, close to his forehead. Could that be an indicator to the Indian Mujahideen sleeper cells that carry out another attack? Intelligence agencies study these terrorists very closely. Would you fear that sleeper cells, where Waqas is also hiding, they could be planning something sinister and soon?
You know, if you ask me very frankly, I look at it like this. Last incident that he did was in 2011. Whatever revelations are being made, apparently, are the ones which are based on disclosures made by Bhatkal. It might have been conveyed to the police. Bhatkal is a very, very shrewd operator. He may well be giving information about those people who have either left the country or who are in very, very safe locations. It would be more important for us to focus on those people about which Bhatkal is able to give the live information about their whereabouts, whom he had met in last 10 to 15 days. In these matters, if there is a gap of about 1 year or 2 years, of thinking that how a terrorist will work, how he will operate, how he will plan in future, just because there are certain past incidents, can be following a wrong or rather a misleading scent. So Waqas is important. He must be an accused now in these things. We can have a red corner notice for him and do everything possible. But what is more important is to pin down Bhatkal on when did he meet him last, what were the communications which took place with him in the recent times, what is his present location and what are his present plans. If he knows this much about him, he would be knowing these facts as well. So I think that is equally important if you want to prevent it. And also that who are the other people, who are the sleeper cells are not the terrorists who are evading arrest. Sleeper cells are having an identity which is different from their terrorist identity.
Yes.
So if there are sleeper cells, which there are plenty of them, then what is the ostensible identity, what is the cover identity in which they are operating? I think this should be the focus.
But Mr. Doval, if I may ask you at this point, we may issue an Interpol red corner notice, but when our own state police are fearful of making arrests, that NIA has to be called in, when there is a Darbhanga module and there is fear or apprehension or political pressure, if at all, to go after the Darbhanga module, then these people are like fish in water, sir.
No, they are very, very important. For all, he might be planning it in some unknown place. He may not be in Bombay or Maharashtra or Pune. He may be in Darbhanga, he may be in any other totally unknown place. So it's very, very important for the NIA, it's very important for all state police forces to remain on very, very high alert. But what is also important is that whatever information we are talking about is from 2011 and 2013, there is a 2 years of a missing gap. And that has got to be covered in case we really have to pursue him effectively.
Absolutely. And Mr. Ranade, the ease with which these terrorists, including this Pakistani terrorist Waqas, move from one state to the other. Whether it is his alleged involvement in Zaveri Bazaar, which we can very clearly see in these pictures behind me, whether it's involvement in Zaveri Bazaar or Pune serial blast, or suspected involvement in the Hyderabad blast, the ease with which these terrorists move across the length and breadth of this country, what does that indicate, Mr. Jaydev Ranade?
Well, I'd just like to, before I get to that specific point, I'd just like to reinforce what Mr. Ajit Doval and one of your journalists have said about Waqas. The fact that I think he's been trained with the LET, and the fact that he has now been moved to the IM to help set it up, to help raise their level of professional competence in terrorism, indicates very clearly that the ISI continues to take an active interest in building up and in guiding the terrorist modules which are in India, which has been set up by them. I think that is a fact that comes out in this, and is something that adds to the importance of nabbing Waqas. As regards your second point, we are a very porous society, we are a democracy, people do move around. What we do need is a campaign to heighten alertness on the part of the people, a kind of a campaign just to tell people to be more alert, and secondly, to increase and intensify surveillance on suspects. How can we have modules operating here, which after a blast, suddenly there are police raids and they pick up people saying that X or Y is suspected to be an IM sympathizer? They should already know who they are. They should already be monitoring them very closely and neutralizing any possibility for action.
Okay.
And finally, I must say that the wherewithal that these terrorists get in the form of documentation and papers just shows how corruption is seeped into the system, and even these documents, which should be difficult to get for them, they are able to procure quite easily.